Prior to proceeding with sentencing, Your Honor, I'm requesting that the defendant undergo a UA. Based on my observations, the observations of law enforcement, and the observations of court personnel, I have reason to believe that the defendant is impaired or under the influence. She is currently subject to bond conditions to where she is not to consume illegal controlled substances or alcohol, and is subject to random UA, breath or blood tests. And based on that and the seriousness of these proceedings, I believe that my request for UA is reasonable.
Ms. Premier, what's your position on that?
Your Honor, I would object. My client is not under the influence of any illegal substances. She does take prescription medication. And so Judge, we would object at this time.
Well, I think the number one question I've got is, does your client actually take prescription medications? And if so, what are the side effects or contraindications?
Judge, she takes, it's like a non-narcotic, but it's for muscle relaxer.
Does she take all of those simultaneously, or are they staggered throughout the day?
Judge, she takes in the morning, and then the other one she takes at nighttime.
Mr. Mosher, what's the basis? What phenomena or symptoms have you observed that makes you think that a UA may be appropriate at this time?
Your Honor, the behaviors I'm seeing, I would associate with what I've observed previously, what law enforcement described to me as tweaking. And I can try to bring the officer in if you want to hear more from him, if that's the case, Your Honor.
I think the best way to handle that is we bring him in and we actually swear him in, and I'll allow you to ask your questions, and then I'll allow Ms. Premier to do that.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, he got called for a EMS run on a life flight, but he believes there's other personnel to cover, so he said it'd take him about 5 minutes to get here.
Okay, if we can stand in recess at this point. I will caution you, Ms. Premier and Ms. Cummins, that the underlying conviction in this case is in fact for unlawful possession of a controlled substance, which is methamphetamine. And if in fact if the court orders that you were to submit to a UA, I'm going to be very, very concerned if in fact you test positive. And maybe think about that for a few minutes, and maybe.
I mean, I can tell you now that my client will likely test positive. I don't think that she's currently under the influence at this time. I've met with Ms. Cummins on numerous occasions, and I don't see a change in her behavior. That's my observation. Clearly, she does have a drug problem. That's why the plan was to get her on probation, get her into a drug and alcohol evaluation, and then hopefully get her into treatment. But personally, I don't think that she's under the influence today.
Well, okay, she does have a bond condition then that requires her not to utilize drugs. Additionally, she's a convicted felon at this point. There's an admonition, I'm sure, from Judge Velez that she wasn't to utilize any substances between now and then, or not to engage in any unlawful activities. And the concern becomes, okay, basically